Not that bad, though, because your ancestors suck and you're stinky and evil. Anyways, for all the bleach demons willing to learn...
Bleach demons?
You're not as bad as the rest.
It's really surprising to me that she cannot hear the blatant racism in her own voice. Like, bleach demons? Really? Do you have a word for Asians as well? Do you have a word for black people as well?
So let's address this. First of all, the black lady who said those things could have used a more diplomatic way. This is in response to the Asian lady. Black people cannot be racist. She is not being racist. Racism is about systemic power, and black people do not have systemic power. Racism is about prejudice, discrimination, and bias backed by systemic power. The black lady could have been prejudiced in her statements. However, she is not racist. And so let us get that out of the way.
Racism and white supremacy. Racism is a system, not an event. And it's the system we're in. I have had to understand not just the collective dynamics and dimensions of racism, but how racism impacts different groups who are perceived and defined as people of color, how it impacts them differently, where and how they are positioned always in relation to whiteness or far away from whiteness, and how that manifests, right? All of that must be understood. But after a good 20 plus years of talking day in and day out to white people about racism, I feel very confident to say that there is something profoundly anti-black in this culture, and that nothing seems to turn white people's cranks of resentment, like thinking black people got something over on us that they didn't deserve. And the deeper belief is that they're inherently undeserving. I believe in the white mind, black people are the ultimate racial other.
I'm tired of black people using the race card all the time and then be like, yeah, your ancestors enslaved mine hundreds of years ago. You're demons. And you know what? Newsflash, every culture kept slaves. The Chinese kept slaves, the Greek kept slaves, Native American kept slaves. And you know what the best part is? Native Africans kept slaves. They participated in the transatlantic slave trade by selling prisoners of war to Europeans. Nobody needs to be apologetic towards you. Get off your high horse. Also, white people, you need to step up. Stop self-deprecating because of your ancestors' sins. Stop apologizing for something that you didn't do.
European ancestors colonized and enslaved my ancestors, and so she's not playing the black card. Also, you talk about slavery being part of every culture. Yes, but what made the transatlantic slave trade different is that one race targeted another race and demeaned, devalued, and dehumanized them by making them slaves to build the West for hundreds of years. That is the point. And the fact that some Africans participated in the slave trade does not ignore the overall impact and harm that was done to a group of people by Europeans. Also, saying that white people should stop self-deprecating and not feel bad for what their ancestors did to mine is very problematic. The colonization and enslavement of Africans was not a dehumanization act that happened in history. That dehumanization act created systems that benefit all white people, including those who have proximity to whiteness, such as Asians. And hence, the least white people could do is to feel guilty and apologize for what their ancestors did, because irrespective of where you are as a white person, you benefit from the systems that were instituted by your ancestors through the colonization and the enslavement of black people. Some of those systems include the Christian religion pioneered by colonialism, making Jesus white and the devil black. Another example is language superiority, where English, French, Spanish, Portuguese became powerful languages compared to what? African or black languages. Beyond language, we can look at economy. Again, we have the concept of capitalism that was pioneered and engineered from Europe, which has now taken over the global system. We can also talk about the devastating effects of the biomedical systems whereby enslaved black women were used as experiments for the cesarean section, such that today black women die during childbirth and their pain is not taken seriously, and the medical curricula trains students to believe that black people have a higher pain tolerance compared to people of other races. Also, we can talk about the false ideology that black people are inherently violent. As a result, we see it every day when black people encounter the police and the police chooses to use brutal force to subdue black people. We all know about the disproportionate incarceration rate and how black people are criminalized more compared to people of other races. Finally, we can also talk about the standard of beauty, which is very Eurocentric, and as a result, even on this app, people who are white often blow up and do better and earn more from brand partnerships compared to black people. And these are the reasons why what the Asian lady said is problematic and offensive to black people. I have said this multiple times. We have white people, we have people of color, and we have black people. Dear black people, we do not have allies. The earlier we realize that we are on our own and our struggle is unique. And so it is important that irrespective of where we are, be it we are Africans, African Americans, African Canadians, Afro-Europeans, Caribbeans, the earlier we come together as a people and seek our collective good and be able to have collective systems of power, the better it will be for us. My name is Dr. Zita. I am a sociologist. I am an expert when it comes to race, racism, and race relations. If you're not following, guess what? Hit the follow button.